Hello, everybody. Oh, hello, Ava.
Okay, you ready? Okay, so who do we have here?
This is Mr. Skylar Earl and Jonathan Mueller.
Earl and Mueller,
Yes.
right? All right, you are Earl.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Earl, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with racing on the highway. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. Sir, you are charged with racing on the highway, and
Yes,
that's it. On the racing case, guys, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. On the gun case, you're facing an additional year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you guys.
Your Honor. On June 15th, 2024, officers operating in unmarked cars were conducting surveillance on a street takeover on Holmes Road. Officers observed a yellow Mustang and a black VW Golf line up and conduct a roll race where they line up and attempt to outpace each other. Unmarked officers maintained visual contact with the vehicles until marked units could complete the traffic stop. Defendant Mueller was ID'd by his Texas driver's license as the driver of the Mustang. Defendant Earl was identified as the driver of the Golf. Defendant Earl had a Smith & Wesson 9mm Hellcat in the glove box.
How fast were they going? Does it say?
The DIMS, it didn't say, it just said they started from a rolling start.
It doesn't say, Your Honor, how fast they are in the DIMS. I'll pull up the offense report to see if it's in there.
Guys, I want you to understand, the Texas legislature has made it extremely easy for district attorneys across the state of Texas to seize and take your cars from you permanently when you engage in this type of behavior on multiple instances. You now are warned. This is the first time you've had it. If you pick up a second case like this, I'm telling you, because I've seen it happen where I get defendants in here where the state has taken their car, seized it, and they turn it into a manhole cover. If you don't want that to happen, no racing, street takeovers, reckless driving, donuts. I am now making that a condition of your bond. And if I find that you do that, I'm going to put you in jail. Each of you understand.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a Texas driver license, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have valid liability insurance in your name.
Yes, Your Honor.
You sure?
Yes.
I want counsel, if you can please verify. Okay, you have a Texas driver license.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to have both of you sign conditions with me today, promising me that you will not conduct any racing, street takeovers, reckless driving, donuts, any boneheaded moves. If I find that you do that, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in jail. The next thing I'll do is I will take your privilege to drive permanently away from you.
Yes,
You understand? Okay. You have a lawyer. He will take care of the case against you. I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but stay in touch with him. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. If I have to put you in jail for one reason or the other, you will not get another PR bond from me.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Well, yeah, so we will have you both sign a reset. After that, I'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go.
Okay, Judge. Thank you very much,
And
gentlemen.
if you can file that on me, please. Pablo Beltran. Mr. Beltran, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 6 months. Actually, you're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Your Honor, on June 16th, 2024, officers observed a Jeep traveling at a high rate of speed in the center yellow median, which is designed for turning and dividing traffic. Officers observed multiple drivers having to suddenly brake and steer away from the defendant to avoid striking him head on.
You
Officers
struck someone head on?
No, he almost struck someone. The other cars were dodging him. Officers made an eastbound turn onto Tidwell and switched lanes multiple times and observed the defendant switch lanes multiple times with no blinker. The defendant then made a right turn from the leftmost lane, causing several cars to suddenly brake to avoid crashing.
Mr. Beltran, do you have a Texas driver license? It's suspended. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, Mr. Beltran. I don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing $500 fine and 6 months in jail every single time that you drive. Just hold on a second.
Doesn't tell.
There's got to be a reason. Do you have insurance? Is not an answer, sir.
It was an ALR suspension. It was part of that.
So it was an ALR suspension.
It was an ALR suspension.
Okay. So it's got to be because did you ever pay a reinstatement fee? Then it's got to be suspended or it's going to be. So regardless though, I'm taking away your privilege to drive. You're not allowed to drive, Mr. Beltran. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you now, I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if there's a burning building, you have to go save a kitten. You get into a car and drive, you'll be facing up to 6 months in jail every single time.
But the kittens. Kittens, Judge.
Tell me, does it say anything about alcohol in his breath or what time of day was this?
Midnight and 32 minutes, Your Honor.
And then didn't he just have a DWI? Let me see.
2022, Judge. But it was dismissed.
He was on probation here for DWI, right?
It looks like he was deferred in the 339th for assault and beating, but he went to WIMAC for the DWI. I believe that was a violation of the.
You know what? I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. I want to make sure that you're not consuming alcohol or any kind of dope while you're on bond in this court. I'm going to test you for drugs and alcohol, sir. If I find that you're using, I will put you in jail likewise, sir. What do you do for a living, sir?
Astrophins.
You work where?
Astrophins
Okay.
company.
How much money do you make a month? Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, I'll get you to Victoria. We're going to have you sign a reset. And after that, you'll get with Tracy for your bond conditions. I'm telling you now, also, like I told the other two gentlemen here, you're charged with reckless driving. The DAs have, or the legislature's made it very easy to seize cars and take them away from you permanently. I would be very careful. This is now your first reckless driving case. You pick up another case like this, it's very highly possible they seize your car from you and it's gone forever. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Be a manhole cover.
All right, page 2, Blanco, come on up.
Yes, con sus papeles ahí. Sí, señor. Solo mira el juez. Acérquese al navegador. Solo mira el juez, no me mire a mí, me contesta en español. Mira el juez.
Ms. Cubas Garcia, both of you are charged with racing on a highway. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews of the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, gentlemen. Go ahead.
On June 16th, 2024, the officer was traveling westbound on the mainland of I-10. He observed a Nissan and a Ford Mustang slow down to 35 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone, aligned side by side, and accelerate at full throttle in an attempt to distance each other. They reached speeds of over 100 miles per hour. The officer conducted a traffic stop on the vehicles. Defendant Franco was identified as the driver of the Nissan by his Mexican consular card. Defendant Cubas was identified as the driver of the Mustang by his Honduran passport. Defendant Franco told the officers that he was driving to have dinner with his friend, Mr. Cubas, and while driving there, they raced each other 3 separate times.
de carreras como atrás.
Gentlemen, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with both of your cases. Are you both here with or without permission in the United States?
With permission, without permission.
Who has permission?
No, sin permiso.
Oh, without permission.
What happens if you go to
¿Qué
jail?
pasa si usted va a una casa? I do not know.
Think, are you here with or without permission in this country?
Sin permiso.
Without permission.
What happens if you go to jail?
Piensen.
Really?
Tell me, what happens?
Dígame, ¿qué pasaría?
Pues pierdo tiempo.
I would
Pasaría
lose-
mal.
¿Perdón? ¿Pierdo tiempo y qué?
Pasaría mal.
I would lose time and I'd have a bad time. Dime.
Libertad.
¿Cómo?
Mi libertad.
My freedom.
Do you think
Ustedes-
immigration searches the jails?
I don't know. Yes.
Right.
Sí, dime. Yes.
Immigration searches the jails every single day, all day, looking for people who are locked up in this country without permission. And if they find you, they put a detainer on you. You will remain in custody until immigration is done with you. That is usually about 9 months to a year, depending on how fast you can get to a hearing, not to mention the thousands of dollars that you will spend on lawyers trying to stay in this country. That's what you have waiting for you if you go to jail. Neither of you have Texas driver licenses, so you are not allowed to drive. Both of you will be signing a promise with me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care what you need to do. I don't care if there's a burning building. Mother Teresa needs to go to church. I don't care. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months every time you drive because it's an offense in and of itself. I guarantee you, if you do anything more than a day, immigration will put a detainer on you. I see it on a daily basis. You were lucky to get out once. Don't push your luck again. Do not pick up any criminal cases, and you guys need to go hire lawyers. Do you understand? Do you understand? Do not drive. I will have you both come over here. I will have you both swear to us that you're not going to drive. The only other piece of advice I'm going to give you is that a second type of these cases, it's very easy for the state to take your cars away from you permanently, seize them as fruits of a crime. If you do not want that to happen, do not engage in these types of behavior again. For now, you are not allowed to drive for any reason, and you will get a lengthy jail sentence if I find that you drive. I will have you swear to this. After that, I'll get you the Victoria sign and reset. And when you come back, please have lawyers.
Judge, are there gonna be states on?
No, just the affidavits. We'll get them out.
The next one is a racing case.
Another racing case. What's going on today, man? Well, the police are out in force. Yeah, come on.
All right, page 9, Gonzalez, come on up.
Ay, ay, ay. Racing after racing. Roberto Gonzalez Santillan. You speak English? Not C.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you speak well enough to understand what's going on. You're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir.
Your Honor, on June 14th, 2024, fully marked Harris County Sheriff's Office, officers on active patrol, came to a stop at a red light at Girard and Travis, which leads onto the main lanes of the North Thruway. While stationary at the light, the officer observed a blue Ford Mustang and a black BMW sedan, a lineup. When the signal light turned green, both vehicles simultaneously accelerated forward to speeds over 100 miles per hour. Posted speed limit is 65 miles per hour. The total race lasted about 1.5 miles before the officer could conduct his traffic stop. The driver of the Ford Mustang was ID'd by his Mexican consular ID card. The BMW got away.
So he doesn't have a Texas driver license.
Correct, Your Honor.
You don't have a license. Are you a citizen of the United States? Are you in this country with or without permission? What happens if you go to jail, Mr. Gonzalez? How long is it going to take you to get back there? You will sit in custody for a minimum of 6 months in Harris County Jail, waiting for immigration to take your case to see whether they would deport you. Val, this is your gentleman. Come on. Great to see you, man. I'm now finding probable cause in this case. I'm letting him know that he is not a citizen. He's not in this country with permission. And I'm letting you know the consequence, what happens if you go to jail. It's not a pretty thing. It's not a fun thing. You will sit in custody for 6 months at a minimum, waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do to you. Do you understand? You are not allowed to drive. And I am now making that a condition of your bond. And you will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing 6 months in jail every single time that you drive. You cannot give any justification. Do you understand? I will have you come swear to us that you're not going to drive. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Val. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You will not get any more PR bonds in here from us. You pick up a new case, you start acting like a fool in the free world, I will take the free world away from you. Come on. Thanks, Val.
All right, Judge, page 9. Grabe,
Is it Dylan Gravey?
Doing gravy.
Gravy, Mr. Gravy, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Your Honor, on June 15th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a robbery just occurred call. We met with the complaining witness who advised that the defendant's mother assaulted her. During the course of the assault, the defendant grabbed the complaining witness's cell phone and disappeared. Officers located the phone, which had been thrown over a fence. The phone was damaged. The damage to the phone was $1,500. Charges were declined on the defendant's mother for mutual combat.
Sir, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. So who was the complaining witness in relation to him?
I believe she's a stranger or maybe a friend of his mother's, but she's a stranger to him, Your Honor.
Sir, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
Sir.
If I find that you violate these conditions, I will arrest you, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, sir. How old are you? What do you do for a living?
I had previously done pest control.
Say it again? Pest control. Okay. Are you still in pest control?
I was in Indiana and my license expired up there. I moved down here with my mother and I've yet to get a license to do that.
So how do you survive now?
I just live with my mother and help her take care of things around the house.
That's unacceptable. Your mom would like a lot more help in the way of this. You sitting at her house, vegetating, eating all of her food, taking all her time and not helping, that's not help to me. I am now making it a condition of your bond that you get a full-time job as well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks. If you've not done nothing, it's not going to go well for you, sir. Another 2-weeker for work. I will give you an application for an appointed lawyer now. I will have you fill it out and I will provide you with a lawyer today. But I'm telling you, you have 2 weeks to come back here and show us what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, life's not going to go well for you. You understand? All right, please, do you mind let me see, make sure I don't have it on file already.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.